I'm going to finish this off here. See if I can lock this camera and see if I can finish this off. I've been working all day on this. I've been working all day on this equation. I haven't solved it yet. Very close to it. Plus 25, 30 pages in and out of books. It's very, very clear that everything has been mathematically created. It is too closely linked, and our greatest link is Pluto. Pluto is one of our biggest links. Well, so is Earth into the E world through Mars. The numbers, what the numbers say, I was going over what the numbers say. So I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to be redoing this design. And in this design, what I did is, let me see, did I do this? Yes. I'm moving up. Let me see if I got that right. Yeah, in this design, what I'm using is I'm using the single square. Then I'm going to put a 2 square. And then I'm going to put a 3 by 3. Then I'm going to put a 4 by 4 and a 5 by 5 and a 6 by 6 and a 7 by 7. And when I encompass 2, 4, 6, that'll be a 6 by 6. When I encompass the 7th cube over here, that'll be 2, 4, 6, and the other one is over here, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. I will have to create 8 by 8 in order to encompass, okay, my squares that are 2 by 2, 2 by 2, 2 by 2, 2 by 2, equaling to what is 88. That is Venus. That is purple. Purple comes from red and blue. Red and blue comes from hot and cold. Hot and cold is also the numeric value of 43 and 34, which is matter. And the numeric value of 3 times 4, 3 plus 4, will create 7 and 12. 7 times 12 is 84, Pluto. 12 or 1 and 2 and 3 is 3. 7 times 3 is 21, the cube. Once you have the cube, the voids on the cube equal to 33. That is rotation of the 7th, 8th. That is rotation of the 7th, 8th. And what is the 7th gate is right here, 6 and 9. And you create the 9 that way, you create the 6 that way, and then you create its rotation. So now we're into this. Now what I did with these 2 by 2s is I encompassed them with 3 by 3s on top. You notice it goes below because there's more of a dimension to this picture. On the top here, I went all 3 by 3, 3 by 3, 3 by 3, 3 by 3. So in the first dimension, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in the 1, 3, and 5, and I have not reached the 7th gate, I will be what is 9 by 9, which is Jupiter man 13. The word 13 and Jupiter both equal 99, but what's great about 13 is it's broken up into 5544, which is the sun, which is area space, which is mass, which is something to do with number 35 plus 1. I'm not sure if 1 is the mixer, whatever it is. Remember, 1 is a separator. When you have 1 in something, if you have a block, I now have separated these 2 sides or these 2 sides. In fact, it depends if this is the core of the apple. If it's the core of the apple, I only did something to the core. I don't want to get into that piece right now. So now if I encompass what is the 7th gate, I will now go 3 more, and that will be 12 by 12 equals to 144. And I need this equation, this 144, because it's a 1440 minutes in the day. I need 144 in order to have 4 areas in my roulette design, in which you've seen before. Let me show you this design. right over here. So you see a Y over here. And you see forget about this tail, but you see this two up. I could have put them touching, right? I could have put these touching, but they weren't touching. They're completely different. So I knew there was a center because the boards are separated. So there's a separation. If I touch them together, what would happen is these two would dissolve to one. These two would come together. So I'm going to do another design with that. See, these two here, there would be no more passage. They would come closer together. And instead of this being an octagon, the 2 points would come together and it would end up being a hexagon. You'd have 3 hexagons. So the hexagons come in when they're brought together. So is that the way it happens in real time? I don't know. I just go over here. Okay. So, yeah, so I need 1 board, 2 boards, 3 boards, and on the 4th board, I've now made an in-between area space. Only until I get to the 5th board, okay, will I have a 3rd cube inside the center. And that will be just like starting over. Remember, you have to start over again. You just can't end because it had to have a beginning and an end, an incoming and an outgoing. So you have to add on. So if you finish at 144, add on to 144, which is actually, you're supposed to add on another 72 or 18 and 18, just add on a bottom row just to get that line in there. So that would be 12. So I'd add on 12 and 12 is 24. I'm just trying to figure out what it is. I have 144 and 12 and 12. That would be 168. That would be the hours in a week. And obviously because the design is not finished. Okay, so let me just get off that design right now and put the camera back over here. The other thing about that is that ABC has now come into the game. It is ABC. We remove ABC, and what we do is we begin the alphabet with D, and we go D, E, F, and that's the way the alphabet begins now. ABC is gone. It's into the beginning of Venus, right here, the 2. Venus goes into the E world, and what happens is once you get to D, it's already into J. J, K, L. Why it's into JKL is because what happens is A is replaced by J, B is replaced by K, and L is replaced by C. Now the polarity is going to come in when D now faces its new polarity. What will D's new polarity be? If A and B was 1 and 2, then we're going to have 2 and 1, and that's where U comes in at the 21st letter. See here, it's 12, L, L 12, U 21. See, the first ABC, we have to have 2. 1 starting with A, 1 starting with B, 1 starting with C. So here is ABC once, here is ABC twice, and here is ABC again, but now it's inside its own letter form. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 1 times 2 is 2, it's now BC. Here it was separated, here it's together, so it's in between itself. So then where would the rest of the alphabet be? What would happen to the rest of it? What is 5? I'm always talking about 5775. Well, the egg is 577. Numeric value 19. Sperm is number 71. That is its greatest separation. And that answer to this number 71 is right over here. Is when we connect number 1 all the way up to number 7, it will give me my 144. area space. Inside of that, it will give me up to 9 times 9 area space. This is Jupiter, Venus. This is where we're going to begin and spell Ra, because it is with 1 and 8 that we use these letters. But how do we get to 9? How does 9 multiply within itself to come to 81? 5 times 2, 4 times 2. That's what it is. And that is through the sun. 4 and 5 is through the sun. Why is it that? How do you want to get the number 1? What multiplier will get the number 1? 5 times 2. What's the same multiplier that will get the same 1? It is 4. The 4 and 5 play a void in the game. The 5 and 4 go double. You have 5 dot with a 4 void. And it's going to, you have a 4 dot with a 5 void. 22, 2 and 2, that is ape, that is Venus. This will create 8, this will create 1. The crisscross works out the same way. What creates these two? Why did I mark 55, 44? 9 times 6, 9 times 5. I'm just trying to think. That'll create the 10, 10. There's a lot being said. I'm just trying to think right now. Anyways, this one is located right over here. 1 and 8 is located right here. It's the 8 void surrounding the 1 dot. Ra. This is the sun cube. Number 33 voids for mass, energy and rotation. Cube equals to 31. Sun equals to 54. 31 and sun is 54. It equals to 85. This one will equal to matrix, silver, 3. When it is divided, this number 5 will be 1.66 and number 8 will be 2.66. So we know together they become 3.33. That is the entry. 6 and 6, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 6 and 6, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 2 and 1 is 3. So we know they're in creation of mass energy. 3 times 3 will create this here. It will also create what is 9 and 6, and 9 times 6 equals to 15. And this one equals to 54. Numeric value for 54 is the sun, created from number 14, which is pre-created from number 84 in the star system math. 8 times 4, 8 plus 4 equals to 32, and 12 equaling to 44. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 equals to 16, and 8 equals to 24. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to 8, and 6 equals to 14. 14 will create 54. 14 is the ring around the cube, and it will show you the cycles towards the moon in rotation to how we reach number 84, Pluto, which is the half-life. Where am I inside of here? So, right, so this is the star system math, and it was your starting point was number 84. How did I get to 84? Can I create that 84 another way? We're going to take a look in a minute. I do not remember. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we have 84, then we have 44, and by the way, 44 is going to be 5. Then we have 24, and then we have 14. This is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. That means the D is your rotation. It flips over between 14 and 24. In fact, every time you have a 14 and 24, you can put it together. Now, like in minutes, the question is like in minutes and the hours to the day. Like if you have 248, okay, that would be 1448 in time. This didn't move, but this did. Do I do it both ways? Well, I do it all the ways just so I can understand. Now, where is it? So this would come out to 38, or it would come out to and stay at 34. Well, this one is going to tell me about the spirit of creation of alpha beta. And because it comes from the second value of its own creation, okay, I can go and take this into its second value of its own creation, in which means where this comes from is 1 times 3, 1 plus 3. Half an alphabet. Remember, 13 is half the alphabet. After that, everything got duplicated because half the alphabet is 13 numbers. The end of the alphabet, you ended up putting a bar. Just before it ended, you had a bat. So you had it upside down before you had the bat and the bar. Now you have to know that 1 and 2 is 3, 1 and 3 is 4. You have to know that on this dice cube, and I base everything off mostly this dice cube, the calculator, the roulette, things. It just tells me this is the 0.5. 0.5 is the E world. 0.5. 3 and 4, the difference to the center of this dice is 355, because it is the 0.5 separation to 3.5 to where on one side it's 3 and onto the other side it's 4. So it can actually be like this. It can actually be 3554, which is telling me that the halfway point is the 0.5. 3 minus 0.5, 3 plus 0.5, 4 minus 0.5. So if it's a minus, it's an M, it's a 13. If it's a plus, it's a 16. This is 4, this is 7. It's basic what a child would do, as easy as it can be found, is as easy as you can do it. This is going to be male, and this is going to stay as male. Male, male. 13 and 16. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, we got both of the numbers inside of it created. This will be energy. This will be Jesus. This is going to be Mars and Earth coming together. The bar is the bar. MIT mitzvah. Va meaning to go. A and H, 22 for life. Into the cube world. AH, 1 and 8. That's the heaven of 1. IT, that is your birth. That's number 29. That's where number 14 comes in. It's once we extend out through Pluto. We have to do, before we turn over into any cycles, they turn over, they stop at number 3 and they turn over at number 4. So if you were taking a dice cube and you wanted to see some cycles on a dice cube, we're going to use the dice cube. So we're going to call the rings, let's say the rings of Saturn. We're going to call the rings 14. Okay, now I won't be able to complete this today because we have to keep turning this thing and I'm doing it off the top of my head. So the ring is 14 and the pole is 07 and the pole is 05. And the reason for that is that when 1 is facing 6, that is your only 7 you will have. You will have a 5 and a 5 because these two in the corner, if I drill a hole, all I end up with is 5 and 5. So right now I just want to work by the greatest gap, 1 and 6, in which I'm not sure if I can show you that design. Red Cross, 7th gate. Okay, so I'm getting lost over here. So now I have to remember what it was. Okay, yes, this is what it was. The center of this, you have to choose a number. What number is in the center of this? The reality check for me is 3.5. And the reason for that is because in between 1 plus 6 equals to 7. So 7 divided by two numbers is 3.5. So it's 1 plus 2.5, 2 plus 1.5. And that's what it is. And it's then 3 plus 0.5. Now, if it was to number 6, it would be minus. If it was to number 5, it would be minus. If it was to number 4, it would be minus. So we now know, okay, that the 4, 5, and 6 are to the minus side. Four, 5, and 6, 4, 5, and 6, 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, 3. Well, because that's what it shows me. I don't see 4, 5, and 6 to the plus. I'm not plussing anything over here. So I'm basing my numbers to what is minus, 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 plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, telling me 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 can also go over here, but the minuses cannot go over here. So I'm just building a scenario with this. I'm going to leave that alone. So here's what the moon poles go. I'm going to go 14 days or 7. I can start on 7 or 14 on my first moon. So I can either start 14 or 7. So either I'm starting from the ring, which is 14, or the pole, which is 7. So this would be N, and this would be G. Once we now go down, the next one, obviously, if I started with the ring, okay, then I must finish with the pole. So I started with the ring, I finished with the pole, R and P and R. The total of just these values, okay, is 18, and 16 is 34. Just want to look at that. That's a gateway. That's the eWorld gate. So here is 7, here is 14, and we end up with 21 over here, days, and that is the letter U. So what we ran out as 14N and 7G, we finish with 21U. Now we're going to go on to the next cycle. Obviously, the 28 days were not done. In the next cycle, what are we going to begin with? Well, the cycle of the moon is 28, and I run everything to find the cycles. Whatever cycles are running on this planet, I want to see where they came from and how to get there and what it took for me to get there and what the cycles are in order to get there and how many years. Remember, there's cycles and cycles and cycles. And then there's unicycles, and then there's regular bicycles, and then there's tricycles and quad cycles. So we have to understand our connection to this world, etc., to understand the cells and how they work. Everything goes in the same formation through numbers, so we have to understand the numbers. So we obviously need to start with number 7 in the next one. So we start with number 7 in the next one, and we will get to number 28, and we have now reached our first moon. Now, don't forget, the month on the calendar we run does not run this way. If I would run by a different calendar, the Hebrew calendar, I wouldn't be able to do what I do today, because now I know, okay, creation is still missing. A, B, C is still missing. You have 7 months of 31 days. You have 4 months of 30 days. You have 1 month of 28 days for a 3-year cycle. Did you know that in the leap year there are 366 days, or 61, which is the church which is AF, which will also create A, B, C, D, E, F. Where is that? Well, I could just put, no, I'm not going to do that. F, E, D, C, B. I cannot touch A again. I cannot have these two touch. They meet. And in the center where they meet at 3.5, where they meet right over here. So we're going to lock the rings. So how can we lock the rings? We're going to take A and lock all the way around C. And then we're going to take F and we're going to lock all the way around D. And that's end up with what is DE and CB. To one end, what is A, B, and F, E on the other ones. They become polarity in their own houses. So I have to understand what's going on here. Although the center to this reality in this world is C and in this world is D. Do you follow where I'm going with this? It's a big equation. Maybe I'll just stop it for now. I'm not what you called with it. I am not fluid with it. I'm going to check out the comments here. Robin, been such a long time. Hey, just finished watching a video, and them little gadgets you called your buddies there say they're being used to make the Huber boards that fly like in the Back in the Future movies. Tic-tac-toe easy. Dang, you're good with the math. I like Roman numbers. The best Roman numbers dice game I ever thought about it till now. Well, you want to go into Roman numbers for a second. We're going to go with the letter M. Okay, then we're going to go with the letter D. They are both valued at 13 and 0.4. So the D is actually the father. The 0 over here is talking about what I used to say is only 6. It's now talking about 6 and 8. I'm never sure which one to call it, because it is Pluto, 8 and 4. But then when you roll the dice, the other side of the dice of 8 is 6. The polarity is 6 on the other side of the 7th gate. They run gematria on the lower side. But there's a chance, by the way things are working and the way the countdown works, I think we should have been starting at 10 or 20 or another number even higher. Maybe we should have started at 40. And one of the reasons for starting at 40 is because the temperature, Celsius and Fahrenheit. When C and F meet, it's minus 40. Me meaning the halfway point. Nus meaning the sun at minus 40. They're an expression for blue, which is a gateway, because once you have blue with a single 0, you're automatically going to create your 6 or 8. It also creates DC within the word, because when I invert this, see this, I'm going to invert both of these to get a number. If I want to say that my void around the 1, which makes it look like a 0, right? The void around the 1. So that is 8. So where am I? And this is 4 corners, right? If I go to 4 corners, if I go to 8, it means I'm talking about a half-life. Because the reality of this is there's nothing here to measure. It's only the corners. So 8 automatically is the half-life. Well, so is my representation of 6. That's how I talked about 6, because I'm inside. Although they're whole, they're not to me. Roman numerals of 4, M, D, and then L and C okay, is 12 and 03, which again, you can go to 83 in this one. I can go to 84. I can go to 83 in this one, and then I can go to 63. Inside this 83, this will be my 16. These will be my void. I find a situation where they are in the cube, 3 void and 8 void. So where was I next with this equation that I was talking about? Just give me 2 more seconds to push some things aside. Okay, where am I now? Yeah, I was talking about 80 minus the sun minus. I wasn't talking about the PLUS. Minus equals to 22 and 54 equals to 76. I always like to say 22 is ape from Mars. You know Planet of the Apes? Well, maybe that's what it is, right? Anybody ever watch Planet of the Apes? It's happening right now. This is what it is. This is what it is. Planet of the Apes happening right now. Make your mind work. Remember Planet of the Apes. What did you think about Planet of the Apes years ago? Maybe we'll add in a little Star Trek. The greatest imaginations. Tell me something that hasn't been created yet that you know about. Okay, so where are we right now? Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to be going slow for the next couple of minutes. It doesn't look like there's anybody here. I might take advantage of that and go get something from the kitchen. Just give me a second to take a peek. It says 4 currently waiting. Okay, that's not for me. It says 2 currently watching. Is anybody watching? Let me take a look at my okay, there it is. Okay, it shows 3 likes. I don't see anybody watching. I don't see anybody watching. I don't know why. If somebody's watching, can you give me a shout? Whoa, hold on a second. Okay, so let me just run into the kitchen, get something to drink, put my mind back on this so we can get back into an understanding that trying to look for one more piece. Well, I tore out so much paper, it's crazy. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. 1661 times 13 equals to, whoop, not that. 1771 times 13 equals to, look at the numbers the way they split. 2772 divided by 13. Look, whoop, you see you can't do that. 3773 oh, it's not that. 2772 times 13 equals 3636. 3773 times 13 equals to 4949. 5775 times 13 equals to 75075. That's 303. That's 47. In star system, That's going to say 47. That'll say 47. The equation I can create over here is time after time. 7 times 5, 35. 7 plus 5, 12. 12 is going to be your creation for L. It's going to say the same thing over here, so it's going to be 12, 21. 33 is rotation. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, because of the artwork of what 6 and 9 can do, creating the 8 number. So if you did 6776 times 13 equals to 88088. So if I used another number, it doesn't do the same thing, but it will tell a story just because of that. I'm just going to get something to drink and be back in a second. There was one piece I wanted to come out with. I don't know where the piece is. Okay, I think it's over here. Let me mark this down. Let me mark this down. 1, 2 and a half. A half, 1 and 2. What is that? That is 1 and that is 6. If I'm going to go to the center, this is the way I would have to go 2 and a half this way, to go 2 and a half this way to meet at the center. I could have made a straight line. So now I'm going to show you that if I was going to go 1 and a half, okay, then that would be, this would be A, this block would be B. This would be 2. This would be, sorry, that's not what it would be. Because I'm starting from 1, I need to add 2 and a half. So this would be B, this would be C, and this would be C.5 right over here. So this would be 2, this would be 3, and this is the 0.5 in between. This is the 0.5 in between. So that 0.5. So here it would be E, and then this one would be, I'm just trying, this would be E, and this one would be D. So now I'm going to put it over each other and show you exactly how do I do it in length. Now, if we started at 1 and we ended at 6, this one and this one, you see this has to have its own box. And this one has to have its own box. It starts off the board. So it goes 1, 2 and a half. And then it goes 1, 2 and a half. So they meet right here. So what if I just took away 2 and went 6, 5, 4. And then over here I went 1, 2, 3. So what happens in the center? I'm directly in the core of the cube. So that core needs to get the number. What number does it get? They're all meeting at 7. They're all meeting at the 7th place. Even if I'm minusing to get to the center, it's really that I am adding to go where I need to go. I am going there by virtue of 2 and a half. I am going there by virtue of 2 and a half. So it took 1 and 6, 5 to get over the 3.5. And that is where the core is. Now, here again, I'm splitting it in half. For me, for this here, okay, this is number 5. And we're going to create this as number 2. And the reason I create it this way is because 2 plus 1 and a half, 5 minus 1 and a half is what's going to bring me the 3.5 in the center of the cube. It's just understanding the equation. I don't know where I'm going with it. I don't know what it means. But we also have to understand that this cube cannot be broken up. So all that 0.5 has got to drop off, and everybody's got to end at this one over here will end up with the numbers 4 and 5. This one will end up with the number 2 and 3. This one will end up with the numbers 5 and 4, 2 and 3. So this one will end up with 9. This will end up with 5. This ends up with 9, and this one ends up. So it's 5, 9. 5 here, 9 here, 5 here, 5 here, 9 here, 9 here. So if I take out the dice cube and take a look at the number 5 and 4, when we flip it over, it's going to be 2 and 3. If it doesn't work on these cubes, then all these numbers are no good. It has to work on not only on the cubes, but we have to find a meeting place. We have to find an understanding. Where was I with that? With that said, with this said, we have 61. A leap year, we have 61 sixes in a leap year. Remember, God rested on the 7th day. So for me, if God rested, okay, on the 7th day, and a chicken that lays an egg in a 28-day period will lay 24 eggs, because that chicken don't lay on the 7th day. So now we have, what is the 28, 24? What is the piano earth cycle day? And it's the 3 pedals also to understand on the piano, that if we have 3 pedal cycle on the piano, multiply it by 3, we have 84 and 72. Those 2 numbers. This is where your gateway to the moon, to the doghouse. This will calculate to the gateway to the doghouse, which is noted to be the queen. 6226 or 2662 has to be understood as the reason I'm saying it is because we go A to E and we go F to B, and then we interlock like I showed you over here, where D and C is the main interlocking of the 0.5. And remember, 0.5 is like creation, because a half an hour, or 0.5 meaning half, or 1 and 2, 21/12, with an understanding to what is half. Or how about 30 seconds? It's not 30 cents on the dollar, because if it was 30 cents on the dollar, you'd be missing 70 cents. This is where the cube comes in. And when the 7 goes to the 5, it's the cube and the moon. It's the sun cube. Sun cube. Remember the sun cube. Sun cube Ra. The numbers. 5775. The big numbers. Oh, excuse me. We need 1881. We need number 99 because of 13. 13 man. What is 13 man? 13 is numeric value 99. Man is a man because he's a man at the age of 13. The word man equals to the cycle of the moon, 28. The mathematics of 2 times 8 is 16, which is also noted as 88, or 8 times 8 equals to 64, equals to 16, equals to 80. We also have to understand that this will now equal to 7. And what does 88 mean? 88 is the horse of Pegasus. It is the word purple. Purple is connected to number 4 and number 12. 12 is your creation, 1 and 2 coming together to create the E world, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. Orange for the 4, 60 on the clock. 12 is number 87, if I remember correctly, which is the gateway through the sperm, number 17. Remember, it has to go somewhere, right? The 1 sperm goes into the 12 female because of the bar and the bat. Of the 13th card K to the 12th card Q. When you play cards, the Q is the 12th card in the deck. The K is the 13th card in the deck, although it's the 11th letter in the alphabet, although it's the 17th letter in the alphabet, and they do have reverses. 13 being for Bat's Mitzvah, 12 being for Bar Mitzvah. If the Hebrews have anything to say, they follow the moon. And if they're following the moon, well, so am I. And that's why I'm playing with these dice, because 714 follows the zodiac, that follows the moon, that follows the astrological signs up into the sky with words and definitions describing it. So there's a story on how these things connect. And then the relationships they have because of games or the understanding of the formation of numbers and then getting color coded and then putting it a little bit into some, let me see if I can get the floor a little bit over there for those who haven't seen the floor yet. Somehow give me 1 second. My computer seems to be a little frozen for some reason. Okay, having a problem. Anyways, let's just continue on. Let's continue on. So now we know that oh, now it comes on. So now we know, okay, that in one cycle of the moon, but there should usually be, okay, 3 cycles and then 1 cycle of the moon. So we did that over here. So we got 72 eggs. Now in a key tray, 4 eggs, they have 30 per row. When will the cycle fill up my egg carton? So I can understand the chickens and the piano. Why the piano? Because the piano crosses over onto center C at number 29. But when that's over at center C at 29, we have 23 keys remaining. And for the same instance, as I mentioned before, that D and C are polarities, are the closest to the E world by 0.5. The 23rd and the 24th letter, where Grover Cleveland came back in to be president, where apparently he was outvoted, apparently, I don't know, some kind of ballot box mishap back in the early days. So these two are polarities. So if I get these two of polarities, I'm going to have these two of polarities. But the thing is, these two, okay, are red and black. But these two are black and black. It's a rarity. So it must happen again earlier on in the board because the board duplicates. 23 is the connection, okay, to where the 23 connects directly to the cube, and 24 is 1 step away, which will create the 7th gate to what is creation, because this will create creation through the sun. This will create number 11, and at the same time it's creating 11 in its multiplication, it'll mention the sun. It'll mention the sun by its, it'll mention the DNA, which is the passage to the sun, because the next move in multiplication will create the numeric values for the sun, in which the mathematics can then be created to create these numbers for your 5 and 6. 1 times 4. So let me show you which way did I get to number 14. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals 6 and 8, 14. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 will equal 5 and 4, or 4 and 5, where 9 times 6 is 54, 9 times 5 is 45. This is used for the word sun. You can use it for the word fox. The word fox is the same alphabet. F is 6, O is the 15th letter, and X is the 24th letter. Noting that as the 24th letter, let me see if I have just something small designed. Noted as the 24th letter, we have 1, 3, and 5, and what is in between is 2 and 4, is that connects. So 2 and 4 connecting gateways. 2, 4, and then 6 will connect into the 7th gate. 2 is this one over here. 2 connects 1 and 3. 2, 1, 3. 4, 3, 5. And 6, 5, 7. 4, 5, and 6 are also very important. I don't know oh yes, 4, 5, and 6, right. This is for the keys. This is the ring. Am I on another page yet? Okay, so right, sun, fox. Sun is number 54. There's another place that sun comes up. I don't remember where it was. Very, very important. I should go over all my papers. Anyways, not for now. So remember how I run this. There's the bar. And then there's, if you want to go to months, it ends up to be ER. E for electronic, electricity. A, or look at. If you're looking at, well, you tell me where at. Because they'd use that a lot for the cat. This is the B world, where it's at. The T letter, okay, is a gateway to the letter G. It's just another mountain further on. It's between G and T that everything is going to be taking place. Between number 7 and number 20 in the alphabet. Right? But remember, creation is 6, so we'll now have to move over to 13. So you know the Mayans, the way it works, 7 and 13 equals to 20. How do we get all the months? If the months are all 9s, well, if the months are all 9s, would you not think we would have to use all the numbers? 9999. Which way are going to weave our way through is getting all these 9s. So this is the deck of cards. This would be 29, which ends up to being the birth. This would be 24, ending up to be the day. You have your 29 and your 24 reaching what is center C from both sides. So this is how I try to pull my understanding together. It's telling me the two sides of the letter Q in the alphabet, in the deck of cards, as a number and as a letter, as a number and as a letter, as a number and as a letter. Number 26. Things about 26, 13 and 13. Remember, the 13 is the first pyramid created in the gematria. Where am I going to go through this next? So we spoke about the 7 months of 31 days. So the first cycle is this. We are going to go 3 cycles. We need to go 3 cycles because the cube meets on the 3rd cycle. So let's see how we're going to do this. We're going to have 21 months. Right away, we get the cube inside our cycle. We're going to have 12 months. Beautiful. And we're going, and we're going to have 3 months. There's going to be 3 Februaries of 28 days. There are going to be 12 months of 30 days. There are going to be 21 months of 31 days. So let's see what we get in a calculation. The calculation is, and just to note that Pluto is number 84. Just to note there are 168 hours in a week. Just to note that our vibration okay, no, I'm not going to get into that part. Just to note that this is going to create 44, which will create 168. 8 times 4, 32. 8 plus 4, 12. This will create 16 and 8 mathematically. That is our gateway in between the widest gap. This is because there are 2. Where there is 6, there is 53. Where the gateway is 5335, Volkswagen Bug. So where are we here? 7 times, yes, so we have 21 times 31 equals to 651 days. Then we have 12 times 30 equals 360 days. Then we have 3 times 28, 84 days. Look at that, the cycle of Pluto. 1, 5, and 9. You can look at it backwards. So that'll be 5, 8, and 6. 14 and 5 is 9. And you have another 9. You have 1095. A, E, and I. A, E, and I. 10, 9, and 5. This is like the beginning saying 1, 5, and 9. Now we're going to add in our last 217 days. Then we're going to put on our 120 days. Anything to do with 1, 2, 6 mixed up is always going to be related to the moon. If you see 120, you can always add a 210 to it. We need to create 3 and 4 out of this number over here. So there's missing a 3 and there's missing a 2, and that's to get to the polarity of this cube. Anyways, the next one here is going to be 29 days. So this is going to be 1, this is going to be 6, 2, 3, and this is going to be 4. There's 1,461 days. There's 1,461 days to that cycle. Through the sun, what it is, I mean, for me to see this, I understand it. I don't know if I can explain it. The 16 is inverted to 19. The 61 is the church, 19 is the spirit. To create, God, I don't even want to go through it. The center in star system will create number 7. 4 times 6, 4 plus 6 equals 10 and 24, equaling to 34. 3 times 4, 3 plus 4 equals 12 and 7, 19. 1 plus 9 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. Or what we can do is end here and do that. In both scenarios, this one is going to tell me it's in between the cube with 16 and 19, 17 and 20, 18 and 21 equaling to 1, 1, 1, or again inside the cube. Between 1 and 1 is the 7th gate, between 17 and 20. That's 7th gateway through the cube. 1 and 4 is 5, 1 and 6 is 7. Again, a numeric value that goes for male and female. And again, the numeric value for the moon. So now we're going to finish off with the cycles to get there. So it's going to be 14 and 7, or we can start with 7 and 14. It's your choice to begin. Choice. Then you have no choice. This is your first cube. This is the end of your first cube. You have 21. This is the end of your first cube. You have 21. You automatically must start the next one with 7, and this will be your first moon ending. But this is cube 2. So this is your 28. This is cube 1. So in cube 1, you're 21 and 33. And in cube 2, okay, you are now at 42 and 66. So you created already the gateway to 66, which would be the 7th gate through the moon, according to these designs. I'm not going to pick them up right now. Let me see. Do I have anything here that'll show a quick run through? Yeah, this one over here is a little bit of a run through. This one over here is how I connect 7 and 13s together. The I and the D come together, how they all come together. 1 and 6, 2 and 5, right? But I'm going to be redoing that. Some of Tesla's stuff, remember, there might be 3 sets of numbers, but never use all 3 sets. You don't have a short circuit. On the left side is the minimum and maximum size to create a Star of David, and where it is to be dead center using 9 numbers. And I'd also like to be doing it using 12 numbers. Noting that in here is another way of looking at the gematria scale. And if you notice that there's a candle on 6 and 4 and 1. Now I remember where I got it. And what I believe why the candles are on 6, 4, and 1 is because ABC is standard. Okay, ABC is standard. And then 4, 5, 6, okay, is the second part. ABC is standard, 4, 5, 6 is next. So it's 3 numbers, and then it's number 4. And number 4 and number 3 gets you to number 7. So in between that is automatically 5 and 6, and 2 times 3, 2 plus 3, create that 5 and 6. Now, what is on the outside? What is the first void or passage for number 7? It's number 5. You're not on the line. You're in between the line. You're a passage. Number 5, going all the way around. 6 looks like it's to be the ring. 4 is a ring. 1 is a ring. 4 is a ring. 6 is a ring. So, and over here, it's actually crosses on top of each other until they create barns, the barns that we see. Here's another way to create the gematria scale on the angle. I just cut out the inside. You can see it here another way, the same picture. If you take a look at this, I'm going to go get a glass of water. There are at least 3 mistakes in here. You'll notice it's all 3, 6, and 9. And what this is all about is I took all the numbers in pi and I multiplied them by 3, because anytime you multiply something times 3, it will always return to 3, 6, or 9. We're going to take a 2-minute break. I'll be back in a minute. Little snack. Well, that went to hell, right? Here, let me put on another picture. I'm going to be back in a minute. Those are the cubes. Okay. Whoa. Okay, let me start that. I find a way for everything to connect and have reason. For the 60 seconds on the clock, for the ABC and the 60 seconds on the clock, because the star system is the math that I use. In what it does is it puts an X through the addition sign and it creates an 8-point star. The most you can have around one cell in this world, in measurements and building, as we were taught through Noah and Moses and Jesus as carpenters, car equaling the ark, repent, pent, PEN 16, the half-life, the E-world, crossing through the sun, going over the second gateway into the electronic earth, ER. Tear is a French word, a rip, a T and an R, or how about the letter M and T? Because if you have the letters M and T, Mom, how come it's MT? MT, 13 and 20, 33. Why is it empty, 33? The garbage is the rag, age, 1 through 7 gateway into the E world. And the first way and one way to create the E is 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. But if we were talking in numbers and location, then it would be 1, 2, 5, which is A through E, and stop at E as a portal and go to I as 4 and 4 separation between the two. As to the alternative where 3, 5, and 7 is only 1 separation between 2 as the distance, halfway arriving between the two. Why I say halfway arriving between the two, because the distance to each one, what about getting inside? When you shake someone's hand, you don't shake their hand like this, like the Da Vinci Code. You put all of a sudden what was 2 feet in hands is now 1 3/4 feet, because that's how we're connecting. Let's have a good connection. Imagine we can go deeper into life knowing the alphabet and numbers
if you understood the words, the alphabet, the numbers that went along in the understanding with every body part that you were created from, knowing that the word is actually a story of creation, telling you deep down what vibration will reconnect every piece and part of you and rebuild who you are. But it begins here, right here. They ask, what is inside mother's cupboard? The motherboard? Male, female. Male and female, almost the same thing, you would think. I have a hose. I fill it with water. Something comes out. Is that a male or a female? Something went in, but something came out. Really weird. M and F. Male ends up at number 13. Female is at number 6 on the first cube, created with 1 and 5, A and E. Wow. A and E, 2 vowels. B and C. A and E and B and D. So now I have to understand how my A and E came in to create who is what is female. Knowing that female is in rotation, or the letter F, let's not say female, let's say the letter F, because the letter F, okay, is the world of E, in which the first visitor into the E world is F. Now, the first world into that, now E, which is where A is the first time it has entered into the Delta world, into Mars, Venus, the space of Venus, which is between Earth and Uranus, which is between Mercury and Pluto, Jupiter, Earth, Venus, Saturn, Mars, and Uranus. Let's not count Mercury or Pluto, because what I believe is A, E, and I, because as the 1 is inside the 9 card, as the 5 is inside the 9 card, as the 1 is inside the 5, and that is the highest you can go, and they are the polarities of what is creation 1 and 2. And they also work themselves up to what is the standard level, which is 3 levels, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, equals 3 and 2. 3 times 2, 3 plus 2, which is, voila, number 11. The highest you can get. So we moved up from this level over to this level. Now we are going to begin, and we're going to go and write this down. 5 plus 9 equals to 14. 6 plus 9 equals to 15. Is that right or wrong? 5. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 9 and 5, 14. Okay, so that's right. So in this situation, it's also going to tell me that I have to look at 1. I'm just trying to see if this is right. 5 and 14, 6 and 15, 14 and 15. I'm trying to see where I'm going with this. Okay, so 1, right, 1 and 9 equal to 10, and 2 and 9 equal to 11. I'm trying to see, oh boy.
Wow, I don't know where I was going with this. I got off a little bit of my game here. Maybe I'm going to go back to my game a little bit. I got off, I saw something, I lost what I was thinking about. We were talking about, yes, we were talking, wow. How long am I into this? An hour and 16 minutes, and I'm going back now. Your pole is 7 and 5. This is the numeric value for the moon, 7 and 5. It is 6 minus 1, it is 6 plus 1. It is in love and coming towards, or it is going away. 5 goes around 7. This creates that, and this creates this. If I doubled it up, I'd get 24 and 26. Noted as the dog, noted as the cat. Dog, cat. Noted as the king, noted as the queen, also noted as the bar, and noted as the bat. Batty, because it'll create 5. This will create like barg or barge. And the reason for this is the multiplication equals to 7g into what is over here, which creates 5e. So it's 7g5. And this is what rules everything because of the rings of Saturn. So I'm just going to get to that and skip over where I was. I'll just skip over this for now. There's too many things going on. I want to explain why and how we get Ra. The cent means 100. Creation of ENT, 552. The E world, the passage, 1 and 4, 14th letter, DNA through the sun birth. And this is your gateway, your T, your cube. The spindle on the cube, the 6 spindles on the cube, the NASA sign, NAS, San Bernardino, Sandridi, DNA, ANS, same thing. This is also can be looked at as 512. Earth and Mars, and this is the sun, and this is the spirit. Where are we next? Has anybody seen number 3 and this Roman numeral? But if you put number 3, right, with the Roman numeral, well, we don't have to look at it that way. Okay, where am I? Okay, this is the first cube, 14-7. First cube done. We didn't reach the moon, but we reached a cycle in the solstice. Then we have the first cube, and we finish with number 14. We're at number 42. So then here is another cube. Let's see if I can color off these cubes. There's a cube, there's a cube, here's a cube. So here it's 42, and this is going to be 56, and this is going to be 763. And let me do this one. And this will be 14 and 7, 77, 84. Okay, so to understand this, what is that? Each one of these cubes has 6 sides. Every side has a number up to number 6. There's no sides the same. When you add them together, it equals to a total of 21. 21. Second cube is done over here. Cube 1, cube 2, cube 3, cube 4. On this last cube, you had a choice. You had no choice. When you started cube number 3, in order to get the entry point for the moon, you have no choice but to run the band on number 14, you must continue the band 14 and 14. 14 and 14, you get a full 28 days of something because of running that band. What I mean is if I went with number 7 over here, okay, I would reach number 49, and 56 is my moon, but my band is number 14, and that would get me up to 63. But that's not my moon, 63. My moon is 56. My next moon is 84. I skipped the 56 moon. Why did I skip that moon? What happened? Was it darkened out, that moon? So the next one I started with 14, but I didn't have to. I could have started with 7 and made that number 70. But if I did that there, I'd put number 14 over here to make it become number 84. Are you confused? Anybody confused? Is there any questions? Am I talking too fast? So we're still into this. Are we? Is there anybody here? I don't see anybody. Oh, two watch. It says two watching. Okay. And one currently watching. Okay. Okay. So you understand that it took me my first 21, and then it took me my second 21, my third 21, and my fourth 21. Oop, I'm watching the wrong screen. So now when I did my first one, I did it 14, then I went 7, and then I went 7. And then I went 14, 14, 7, 7, 14, 7, 7, 14, 14. Then I went 7. Then I went 14. And then I went 7. So here's 28. Here we have 28. Here we have 28. And here we have 28. I did it this way. And the next one, what am I going to start with next one? I can start any one. I can either start with 14 or 7, but this cycle is over. And the thing about this cycle being over is that 84 must be a division of 7 equals to 12 times 7 equals to 84, in which 84 must be a division of 6. Okay, and by being a division of 6, that'll be 14 times 6, 84. And the reason for this is because God rests on the 7th day. The chicken don't lay an egg on the 7th day. We have 24 hours a day, 6 fits into the 24 hours a day, while 7 fits into the 28th cycle of the month, where 4 does not fit. So they all have to fit somewhere, and at the end of the cycle, it fits into number 84. 84 is Pluto. It is a reminder of what they said, what Jesus said when they said to buy and to sell down by the market. The word buy and to sell is number 48. It is the same and almost the same as day and night. And the reason I'm saying this is because they're opposites, and they're what will come to be what is the day and night by 32 and 12 equaling to 44, equals to 5 and equals to 3 and 6 and 2, which equals to 5 and 11. This is the key. K, E, and 25 is Y. That is the key to buy and to sell. But is it that sell? 335, 1335, 1335. You do know the number to the sun. SUN 221. The number to the sun. Why 221? It's on the second level. It's on the second level. So I can even go higher. I can even go, because don't forget, level 1 is a 0 level, right? I believe, if I understand, we have to start from the other side, 0, 1, 2. Just like there's no level with number 1, and the first level starts with, so we're on the minus level I'd like to see with the lower numbers. But anyways, for now I'm going 2, 2, 1. 2 times 2 is 4, 4, 4 and 5. This will equal to 4 and 5 in star system, or 5 and 4, and that's the same numeric value for the sun. ACE is what shows up. And what are those numbers? 1, 3, 5. And what is that? Cube 31. Right over here, 3, 3, 2, 5. B ending with Earth. 3 starting with in rotation. In small numbers, C is the 3rd letter. U is the 21st letter. But we will reverse it. So 3 will be X. And U will be F. So now what is missing in between the two? It is Fox. And those are the angels. Those are the angels missing. 666, the 24th letter, the gateway to what is F? Is F 9 and 6? Is F 8 and 7? Is that F? Is F 1 and 5, 2 and 4? They all equal to, this one equals to 15. 1 plus 5 equals to 6. So what is 7 and 8 and 9 and 6? It's 1 and 5. 1 and 5 is part of creation. And this is the gateway. Mathematically, 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 will create 5 and 6 equaling to 11. Now, if I continue on from here and not do the multiplication and addition, in this instance, I am going to create A and B. If I do the multiplication, okay, and addition, I'll end up with 41. So I will end up with the E world, 1 and 4, the same way as primarily 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 3 plus 2 equals to 5. So both ways, both ends of the spectrum of the cube, they're going to show me either 1 and 4 equaling to what is 5, the E world, or 2 and 3, what is 5 equaling to the E world. And I just want to get another drink. I'm going to put something on the floor over here and show you that. Hold on a second. It's not seem to, doesn't seem to work very good. Okay, well, anyways, I'm going to see if I can, oh, I'll show you the picture right here. Here, I'm going to show you what's on the floor. I've got a picture right here. So, right here where the X is, okay, where the X is, that's number 14. Sorry, where the X is, that's number 23. This board is upside down, okay? And where the Y is over here, that's number 14. So the Y gets the sun. Number 14 gets number 25, gets number 54. 14, 1 times 4, 1 plus 4, gets the sun. The birth, the DNA. It gets JD, Jack Daniels, 10 and 4 coming together. The reason for that is because when you go A plus B plus C plus D equals to 10, created from D, you got JD, how the two numbers came together. One created the other because of what is 1, 2, 3 equals to 6 or 60 seconds and equals, you add the 4 to its polarity, and you're living that 40 extra seconds, okay, or 48 extra seconds because of the whatever. You're living that 40 extra seconds between, once you add D, that's only 40. A, B, C, D, that's only 40. I have to take this off for, see if you, I want to show you something. I'm going to try and explain this the way I'm seeing it. A, B, C, take everything for 10. A10, B20, C30. That's 60. Put it on the side. Got 60, hold it, just hold it on the side. Hold 60 right over there. Now what you're going to do is now you're going to add D. So now you're going to add D. That D is worth 40. So now imagine if everything stopped at 60. You add that 40 on this side. And you have the 60 on this side. That totals 100. So imagine there's a wall. And there's 100 spaces in between. One side took up 60. It took up more than half. So the first side owns the heart. The second side is just filling in the void, getting involved in what already has the hearts. But on this side, once adding the 4, it took you over to what is a combination inside of A, B, C, and D. Let me write this down. It might be easier to explain this, and we'll get back into the moon and the cubes because we're not done. So we have A10, B20, C30. And remember, there's a lot of rules in this world for what we do with numbers. Because in bowling, right, if you get 3 strikes, you get 30, 50, and in the third frame, you got 60 if the game ended. And the 10th frame, you got all 3 in the same, and you end up with 30 just in one frame. The 10th frame can be worth 30 in its own. I need another pen. So anyways, you have A, B, C, 10, 30, and 60. Now we add D, the polarity to C. We add that 40, and now you have 100. 1 returns to 1, but it changes position because there's an extra 0 in it. See, this can be to this side, or it can be A, and it can be to this side. So I think I'm making it a little complicated for nothing because I've never made it complicated before. It's not that complicated. So we have 60 over here, and we have 40. So we have used up. Let me try and see if I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here we got 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we have 60. Here we have 40. So now I'm asking myself, how does the clock work? Where did we get 60 from? So I asked myself, where did we get 60 from? Where did we get 60? Because for me, on the 4th part, this turned over. 1 became 1 again. As like with, I'm just trying to go to another place where things turn over again. Yes, on the 4 cubes, it was 28, 28, and 28, equaling to 84, 3 moons, which took 4 cubes of 21 dots to equal to 84. So we see how things turned over on 4. What did it look like after 2 cubes? After 3 cubes. After 3 cubes, it was 63 equals to 3 times 21 equals to 63. So this is what happened after 3 cubes. We ended up with 63, creation of the E world. A and B equals to 3. Blackjack, 21. U, alpha, beta, recreated. 3 and 3 coming together, the command and the creation. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equals to 9 equals to 6. 9 times 6 equals to 54, the numeric value for sun. And where 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 2 equals to 3 equals to 6 equals to 5 times 5 equals to 30 plus 6 equals to 11. 11 plus 30 equals to 41. 4 times 1, 4 plus 1 equals to 4 equals to 5. 5 and 4, 5 and 4. They match. We go in rotation of the sun. 9 times 6 will equal to what is 54. How do we get 9 and 6? Well, first of all, you have to know they show it right here. 3 and 6 to equal to 9 here. To what is the reverse is 8. 8. Please note and understand that 8 and 9 are in rotation together between day and night. We know that when we are sleeping, we are lying down this way. That when we are awake, we are this way. But in this world, we can also ask ourselves that question. Are we no more awake than asleep? Understand trucks and cars and what they are. Understand the words they use, because the arc is our body. ARCCAR. The wheels, WHEEL. The E world, it begins with a W, beta creation in the E world. It ends with an L. EL 17, into the gateway of the spirit, into the house. So we come up with 100 over here. So how do we reduce it if rotation, okay, is 96? The month of February has an evaluation of 96. Valentine's Day is about love and the band. It's on the 14th day in the 7th month. It's on the 2x2 band because there are 4 sides to Venus rather than up and down to what is Mercury. Venus is the band of Mars. 4, 2 facing 2. Love, the 3.5 or 35 or 3 and 5, the ho, 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 number 23. W for the wedding day, we, the wedding. Where we have, let's say, 1 and 6 is 1 and, which one was I talking? Yes, the polars. The polars. The polars are only 2. Cold. Polars are cold because what's running through is Venus all around the heart while they're spinning in the polars all the time. While the polars are melting. Deception in the world. Too many people believing the wrong narrative. Everybody watching the same story. On every single channel is the same story. Eventually you think somebody wrote the same book. Somebody has to wake up and understand the world we live is right here. The true story is here. If there's anybody who ever believed in the written words of whatever they want to call the word of God, then understand it through the games, through the arts and entertainment of all those who you thought, wow, you went there and you laughed and then you said, get a life. But the life they had was to teach you, for you to understand, to combine to it for your own entertainment, to separate your mind from your body, to know how to live with the spirit and the soul in this world, and to learn that the trickery is you tricking yourself, believing you already know rather than staying silent and saying, I didn't know that difference. It doesn't matter if that difference is true or not. Now you know the difference of something and you don't know the truth, but that doesn't matter. It's just knowing there is more. Give me 1 second, please. So not to lose myself. So once we get to the fourth moon, so while this is happening, there are 33, excuse me, I didn't write that properly. There are 33 voids. Voids is a number 22. So if I'm going to start seeing certain V's or number 22, I'm going to think of a void, and then I'll look at the number and see what it is. There are 33 voids. When 8 is in this position, then that 8 will have a 1 dot. And if it's in this position, it will have a 5 void. This is telling me about Mars. It's also telling me about A and E. And in this, you can also do this. Whoop. Mars, Earth. For ST and TH, time heaven, spirit time and time heaven. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 will also recreate what is 6 and 5. Number 15 for Mars will create the sun and will create recreation. The same with number 23, the same with number 85, the same with number I think 35, which is created from 25. Let's go down the board. Silver, blue, 13, partaking in what is the moon, but partaking on the cross, because 8 and 5 are on the cross. But I can move all these numbers over. I don't remember how right now, but I can move them all over. And please note that the moon runs in this exact cycle. The first moon runs at 28 days. 2 plus 8 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. 2 moons, 2 times 28 equals to 56. 5 and 6, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. Let's add another moon. That should equal to number 3. 8 and 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. Now we're going to add another 28, and that's going to equal 4. 2, 3, 4. And the next one will equal 5. 1 and 4 is 5. Next one will equal 6. And that'll also equal, okay, look, plus 168. Now, the thing about that, okay, the thing about the 6th moon of 28 days, it is where the 6th moon actually tells you about the number of hours in a week. It's talking about number 6 and not about number 7. So it shows me more to the fact that there are truly 6 days in the week, and somehow we have an extra day in that week. There are 6 days in the week, because 6 times 28 is what brought me to 168, which is the normal amount of hours in a week, in which this equation is actually 13 times 13 minus 1. The Monopoly board is built that way. I didn't finish with 60/40. I wanted to downgrade this. The core of creating ABC Basic was 4. So I will remove not 6, but I will remove 4 to the core. And I will create 96. 90 is a reflection of 96 because it is 8 that goes around 1. The 9 is first. The total of all of this is 9. So there's 8 that goes around 1. And the only number you can have is 6 or 8. We're going to talk about 6 because 8 would tell me about the cycle, and 6 would tell me about Mars and I'm just trying to think the four corners, the square life, the 10 world, the 10 world, creating 20. These two connecting and these two connecting are 1 and 9 and 7 and 3, so it's telling me about 20. When those two connect, when 20 connects, when these two connect, 1 and 9 and 3 and 7, okay, it's telling me about 20, but it also creates 10 because it went through the E world over here, okay? It went through over here to connect. So that's going to be 5 and 5, okay? Now, because it's on an angle, I'm asking myself a question. Because it's on an angle and Rubik's Cube cannot move on an angle, maybe I should count that as 6 and 4, telling me that 6 and 4 is something I cannot turn on an angle, and it's showing me the separation between the three cubes to the right and the three cubes to the left of the center of what can be turned around on Rubik's Cube, telling me the difference. So this would be my F and D10, to where once I put in the 4, 6 and the 2, 8, the cycle in the BC creation. Okay, remember 4 and 6, I added on 4 to what was 6 to create my 10, and here it is. That's the Fed, 4, 5, and 6 equaling to 15 Mars. So this is your 110, this is your other 10. And when I create these two 10s, these, okay, is 10 and 10 here. So this is 20 when it connects together, and this is 20 when it connects together. Do you follow what I'm saying? 1 and 9, 3 and 7. But when they connect through the E world, they're connecting on F and D. When the other ones are connecting, they're connecting on E and E, because you can spin through them. That's my question, which way or the other way. It doesn't matter, irrelevant to the fact what happens when one of them is connecting on E and E, direct turn. You're connecting on 22, ape life, and you got 55. You got the pass gate. This is December. This is the sky. 5 times 5 is 25, and that's when Jesus came to December. 5, 5, and 2. Don't use both sides. You only came from one side. The one cube in, the one sun, right? The one sun, the one die. The one die, the one sun, the two suns. 5 by 5, 5 by 5, 35. 5 by 5, 5 plus 5, 35, 25 and 10. 3 times 5, 15, 3 plus 5. 3 times 5, 15, 3 plus 5, 10. 3 times 5, 15, 3 plus 5, 10. So 25 reduces to that, which will reduce to 17. Did I get that right? No. 3 times 5 equals to 15. 3 plus 5 equals to 8. 15 and 8 equals to 23. 23, right over here. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3. Okay, we got 23, right? 23. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 will be 6 and 5 equals to 11. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 plus 5 is 13 equals to 53. 5 and 3 and 5 and 3, it'll be the same thing. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 is 6 and 5. It'll be the same thing. This is not the right number here anymore. So all these numbers, again, all these numbers, 85, 23, 15, and 35, all lead to the same direction. So there's a lot of numbers in here that have cobwebs that create alternative routes that will come back to what is number 11. And before it reaches number 11, it'll create the day of creation. And then 11 will be the date of electronic recreation. The E world. Let me get to that word. Let me go down here. Let me see if there's anything else to this, to sun, 6 and 9, and equals to 54. I'm not sure, but there are 54 areas on Rubik's Cube. 54 areas in Rubik's Cube. There are 6 centers. There are 8 corners of 3 colors. There's 2 bands. There's 3 bands. There's 3 bands of 2 colors. There's 3 bands of 2 colors. Every band is of 4. So this is 4 times 3 times 2. Our vibration around the band, again, NAS, SAN, 24, 24. Let me see, 24, 6, 24 equals to 54. So the 2 gate weights to the 6 spindle center of Rubik's Cube. And there are 26 block spaces on Rubik's Cube, 26 block spaces and 1 spindle. So what is the value of the spindle of A? So here we run into the clock. So the clock runs the 60 seconds. Where are the 40 seconds lost to? $16 hours times 1.5 equals to 24. And this is where Mars comes in, and it reduces what our hours are by 1/2 of what our time should be. 1.5 times the value. So when you get a blackjack, you regain that 3-to-2 value from your 3-to-2 creation, or 1.5 to 1. There's many ways to look at the half. Let me go back and see. Should we match up any more moon cycles? Again, 14, 1 and 4 is 5, 5, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 5, 7, 7, 5, 5, 7, 5, 7, and then whichever one it is. But this is the completion of the cycle. So we have 21, 21, 21, and 21. So that's your 84, and that's your Pluto. Your Pluto will lead down into the sun numerically. Should I show you that again? How 84, and remember 84, before it was 84, it was 83, it was 82, it was 81. Then your creation became into 84 because this is your standard. And your standard, before your standard came in, it was stand on 17. Your DNA, your AT, your STA. These are your 8s. The 19th letter and the 20th letter. 19 and 20. First, second, third. This is where I got this from. I get 17 because when you play blackjack, they're telling you in the game and the rules, you stand on 17. And to create number 17, it is the polarity of what creation is. And what creation is, to me, is alpha, beta, is creation, equals to 2, equals to 1. 1 times 1 plus equals to 2 plus 1 equals to 3 creation, plus the 2 creation, plus 1 times 2, it's creation again, equaling to what is E. BCE, Bell Canada Enterprises, communication network through what is ABCE. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Actually, this creates the word key. But anyways, just to keep that aside right now, where was I with this? What was I exactly talking about? Yes, in standard. So first, second, and third is what creates the primary, and you only have 3 to the cube that explain the rest. Here's your 3. We already know what the rest are. 4, 5, and 6. 4 to my right, 6 to the bottom. You just know what it is. So each one tells their own story. Here's Venus, Here's the cycle. Here's creation of the half-life. This is the greatest separation, and it can't start from here. It's going to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and then it's going to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the same reason I'm doing this is because that 3 is not this 3. I don't want to use this 3 right now. I want to use this 3, the voided 3 over here. I'm not sure if I can use that voided 3 because this one shows up. So that 3 might be telling me about this 3. So if it's telling me about this 3, there are 6 empty spaces. But if it's telling me about that 1, it's telling me about there's 8 empty spaces and 1. So it's 6 and 1. So it's telling me about that polarity. So in that polarity, there are 3 empty spaces to where there are 8 empty spaces. So I'm going to create 24 and 11, 35. 3 and 5 equals to 8. So my polarity of what is 1 and 6 will create who I believe we are, number 35, electric company, number 35, EC. And here is, did we write down this thing on electric company yet? $147 is that key, eh? 1,461 days. Remember that number. Remember, divide by 13. Just going to do that real quick. 5775 divided by 13. Whoop, no. 5775 times 13. Just separates the numbers. 13 separates the numbers. 1 second. Okay, I don't remember where I am. I'm going to try and see it. I hate forgetting. Okay, I'm going to finish with this piece. Ra is Venus. Everything is off of Venus. When the alphabet ends, there's a corner missing. When there's a corner missing, it has to do with what? There's only one corner missing. If there's one corner missing here, that means this will be duplicated and flipped over to this side. If that corner is missing, that's going to be Mercury, that passage. I've seen that before. I just thought about it now, and it's right over here. Venus, see this piece over here? That, and then you connect this one over here. It automatically, you interlock them, and it becomes that passage, and that passage is Mercury in creating for Venus. Your 2 empty positions were here and over here. So I should do that again. You see? And then when you create the other part, it is part of my question right now. Okay, it's part of my question because Venus, you see, when I do this over here, I'm cutting out the cube. Am I cutting out the cube or I'm putting one over the other? Because Venus has the corners. So this is an empty corner. So now I have an empty corner here. I have an open space over here, and I have an empty space over here. So when this and this comes in, it creates a separation, creating to what is Venus. A 3-part, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. This is the way the cycle of the moon works. 3, 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 1, 3, 31, 13, 13, 31. Under the gateway, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3. Unlike what 12 is. So what would 12 be? I'm not really sure if I want to look at that right now. I'm just trying to think there was another way in which what I'm trying to understand is this, if this was an empty spot, it might be that these 3 together, I'm thinking right now, is there a possibility, is there a possibility that these two overlap? So I'm trying to figure out what the connection is. What would be that connection? Okay. Okay, so I see it now. So this is what it is. Okay, this is what it is. Instead of creating the two hearts this way and showing it that way, okay, in which what you see over here is the diamond that connects the two sides together. Over here, when I overlap them, it actually goes to show a passage through by overlapping them, which I did the same thing over here. They overlap on each other. I'm not going to touch these over here because they're on the outside, but that's what the Venus cube does. It shows you an opening, so you know that the one dot is the spirit of what's passing. So it's continuous, and that's what keeps everything alive because of the passage and the meeting point at 35 plus 1. 4 times. 35 plus 1, 4 times. So that'll be 70. 70 equals 140. And then 70 and 70, which will be, how much is that? I think I made a mistake. Too many 70s. It'll be 35. 70 and 70 equals to 140 plus 4. 140 plus 4. It's 2 per 70 and 2 per 70 because of the wager. If you put a wager on it, right, you're going to get back, you put a chip over here, you get back 35 to 1 plus your chip. That's your 36. That's your 144 payback. That's directly on a spot, which gives you creation. Number 35 is part of the values of how you create. Equals to number 35. This comes from this number over here, 16. 16 will create this number. In fact, 16 and 14 and 65 and 15 and 23 all have something in common. They're all going to get to the same point. Multiply and add, this will create 7 and 6. Multiply and add, it'll create 42 and 13 equaling to 55. If I minus it, it will equal to 29. If I multiply and I add, it equals to 54, 45. Multiply and add, 20 and 9 equals to 29. I now match it. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 plus 5, 11 equals to 41. 4 times 1, 4 plus 1 is 4 and 5, which is the same number down here. We will have the same result. It'll just happen on a different level. Of which level of A, B, C, D? Because first we had 41, then we had 45, and then we had 29. First we had 14, first level, second level, it happened on the third level. Here it happened on the third level. Here, 1, 2, 3. Here it happened on the fourth level. Here, it's going to be 6 and 5, then it's going to be 41, and then it's going to be 5 and 4, and here it's going to be 29. So that happened the first, second, third, fourth. Here it happened on the fifth level. This one over here will equal to 6 and 5, which will equal to 11 and 30, which will equal to 41 and 54 and 29. First, second, third, fourth, and this happened on the fifth level. So everything comes into their own, how a number is formed, and it's just cobwebs. It's just a whole bunch of cobwebs of numbers. So where were we? I'm a little lost here. Little lost. Was trying to explain how we get to the 60 seconds in a day, because this is standard and this is death. Standard. This is the ETH, the time heaven, possibly lost to the blue world. The numeric value for blue is 40. If I start with hot and cold and blue, if you want to go that route, if I get hot, then I know I've got red. If I've got red, I got hot, I got an opposite, I got cold, and I got blue. If I got colors red and blue, and I mix them together, I get purple. If I get red, I get 3. If I got red, I get 11. If I get 11, I get a stripe. If I get a stripe, I get a solid. If I get 11, I get 2. 1 and 1 is 2. If I get 11, I also get 2 and 1. If I get 2 and 1, I get the letter L or the letter U, depending which way I put it together. Irrelevant. It's number 33. Both are number 3 in the alphabet. And all I started off as hot, red, cold, blue, purple. But then if I mixed it properly to the right elements, instead of having 2 purple, 2 blue, 2 hot, 2 cold, maybe I'll have it warm. Warm is 55. Sky is 55. December, Deca, is 55. Pass is 55. And it's which will create 35, in which will create who? Because who is on first. And what is who? 5 times 3, the 15th letter, O. 5 plus 3, the 8th letter, H. 8 and 5, the 23rd letter, W. 6, 8, and 5. 6 and 8, separation at a gateway through Mars in the heavens of life. See when the 0 and 8 come up? That's 68. 1 and 8, 1 and 8, okay? Here's 1 and 8, okay? When you have 0, it's talking about the light within 6. At the gateway of the cat, you see the cat, which is known as the 9 lives, okay, is found, okay, right over here of the 9 lives, because it is one entrapping all of the other 8 that is around. There are 8 areas, but the numeric value and connection between each area tells us that the extension between areas of 1 and 9 and 2 and 8 tells me the value is 100. Although the extending value only shows us an inside 40, 19 and 28, which is also rotas sator. And that is how the moon rotates with the spirit cycle in the beehive, B&H, TH, time heaven, with the 60-40. And that is because 3 and 7 and 4 and 6 equals to 10, equals to 10, equals to 10, equals to 10. So that is where your 40 comes up and your 60 comes up, because everything passes through the center and rotates all around what is the core value, which is number 5. Now, when you add up the numbers together, 1 through 9, it equals to a 45. So now if you were spinning this into this rotation, but only spinning it to understand that it can only spin 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times per each equation, which gives me 4 times 45, or 180. So we now know our expression of 180 is a dome. 180 is a dome. Venus is the expression of a dome. Ra God is an expression of a dome. If you have 360, you're going to round. You're going all the way around. But this is a dome. 1 and 8. The average polarity and difference. The average polarity and difference. Now, although the dice cube says it's 1 and 9, the 8th area and the 1 area get to have their own area space. So it started over here from 0 to 1, and it ended from 8 all the way to 9. So I'm not really sure how I should connect that. Should I really go and do over here the greatest distance? I think I'm going to have to. 9, because 9 is on the other side. 8 is the center of the gateway. I'm just trying to figure out which way, because 9 is in the center of everything, right over there. So that's why I think I have to create everything on an angle, and that's why most of my designs, because you're always moving forward. If I just go straight up and down, I'm just creating poles. Can we call a 3-minute break or something? A 2-minute break? I'm just going to make some hot water or something. You want to see part of the floor? I don't know. I want to continue on. Where was I talking about? Yes, hot and cold, purple, blue. So now should I have the red pill? Should I have the purple? Should I have the blue pill? Well, they're going to create purple. Purple is known for electric. Purple, and that greenish is known for Aureole borealis. It's known to have warm. It's also known to pass through number 55. But mixing up cold and blue, hot and cold, can also create a polarity of energy, create energy in its own. When it's controlled, it can be a constant energy. The 9 lives of the cat is number 24. And number 24 is what connects what is 1 and 3, in which the void of 2, which is number 7, when connecting to number 1, the void is 8. 7 and 8 created by Q, 1 times 7, 1 plus 7, created by what is alpha beta reverse. Now that is, hold on a second. Let me see if I got it right here. Very, very quick. Very, very quick. Yeah, right there. Okay, so you see the 9 at the top and the E in the center. So it's I to E or it's A to E. So you have your 10s connected together. At the same way, you can connect I and D. You see what happens when you connect I and D? When you connect I and D together, your D is going over and connecting to F. And on its way to F, it passes through G, which is connected to all those other ones, or maybe it's not and it goes under. But that's how the connection comes to the 2 sides. And that's your E world. On the other side, it's where my 1 and 6, 2 and 5, all my 7 connections come together. But what I see now is that A goes over to E, D, C, and B, and no longer goes to F because F is its polarity. And we don't want to have a straight route that way. Or is it the way out and it must pass through like one side to the other side to the other side to the other side to the other side, you know, going through B and then out of B. And you see on one side you have CD connecting. There's no pole. See, there's only a pole on one side standing out. The other side doesn't have a pole because it's not the only one that's you cannot put it on the line, the division of D and C. They're together. Okay, I'm going to take a little drink in the kitchen. Here, take a look at this. Let me see if I put the, what am I going to put on the board here? This. How about that? or that. On the right side, okay, I'm definitely going to go get something to drink, but on the right side, it's multiplication and addition. It's star system math, multiplication and addition, all the way up to 9, and it's multiplication and addition of the same numbers, 1 times 1, 2 times 2. So take a look at it and tell me what you think. Tell me what you find. Tell me what you find. It's going to be a 3-minute break. They can use some good hot water. Didn't speak yesterday, didn't speak today. Yes, she wasn't on time. Making some hot water. Yeah, so take a look at that. I'll be back in a minute. Couple of nuts, maybe. Just having a little bit to eat. 2 more minutes. One more minute. One minute. I'm coming. Am I allowed to change the subject out of the blue? I want to change the subject out of the blue. Just give me a minute. I'm coming back. Putting down my tea. Okido. 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 Let's see where we are. Where's the band? Take off the band. Okay. So now we have cold and hot. Now the thing is, when you mix cold and hot together, what happens? What happens? Well, when hot meets cold, you get the numeric value of 77. 17 will be male and in the star system be created by number 13. But 2 of them will become female and will now be played from F until B, and there's no black keys next to this on the piano. To where this was now male turns into the female queen from the male king. The word queen is number 62. The king is the 13th card in the deck. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals to 3 and 4 equaling to 7. It is no longer a prime number. It came from somewhere. It came from the polarity of the dice cube. 1 and 6. It has to come from somewhere. You got to be an expert if you created it, and I can find it if I can figure out something about it, not what you created it for, but what I can find of what somebody can find in it. 77, we go get a word, and the word is matter. Inside the word matter, 40, 63, 70, 64, and 13, 77. CHR1ST. First, CHR1ST. 48 and 39. 3, 11, at 29. Does that get to say that? 29. 29 is noted as the birth through the DNA sun. In first, it totals 48. It is the heavens of Mars, Venus, through which is Pluto. And if you add them together, it's 12. 12, 21. All about day and night and area space is what Pluto does, what this number does. The reason for that, mathematics. 4 times 8, 4 plus 8 will create 44. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 will create 16 and 8. That 16 is going to be the division, the polarity. It'll be the greatest polarity, sorry. It'll be your greatest polarity, and that will be the heavens creation. The number 8 is right there. 1 and 8 is right here. The 8 voided areas. The white has 8 voided areas around 1. That is your 9. There's only 2. There are 3 ways or 4 ways. There's many ways to create certain things. It's either by 1 box, which separates the left from the right and the above from below, and that's what this is, from 1 box. It is 1 that created 9. 1 creates 9 in the 3 by 3, which is mass, which is 69 in rotation of the sun fox pass. I'll explain that in a second. And the other one is this. This to me looks like a solid because there is no passage, but this one has a passage in between the 4 corners. When you're measuring, these are my 4 corners. So I have no passage other than by breaking everything apart. Or is it the opposite for this one? The only way I can pass through this is cutting it this way. I can go that way and I can go that way. 2, 4, 6. But I can't do that. Otherwise, I have to do this. And this is going to say DNA right away. The minute I got to do that line, that's DNA. because that's the way I was taught as a child. When you're a child, you have to learn. We're the children of God. Everybody has to have a chance of learning on the lowest levels, on the levels that we all came in here, and we go either to a church or we read a Bible or we question what life's all about. Well, if life was about AI and everything was about these numbers, this is what these numbers say. And as a child, this is what I see. The DNA through the backbone of Venus. The letter R equals to the 18th letter Chi. It is 1/2 of our life, only 1/I of our life. 3 parts and 1 part and 1 part and 3 parts and 1 part and 3 parts, 1 skipping over 2. The male, the female, and I base this in English and French. Let me see where I am with this. So now we have 7 and 7 coming together. Now, if we were going to build something through 7 and 7, I would be building, let me see, this. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you just the basic for this. This one is number 1. This one's number 3. This one's number 5. And this one's number 7. I may have to create these blocks in a different size for a better understanding, because in reality, the 1, 3, and 5 can only appear when you have 9. The 1, 3, and 5 can appear if you have 1 and you use the 4 corners for a center dot. You can also understand that 4 boxes can also be looked at as 9. I'm trying to get a little bit of better light on this. 4 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You see that? With 9 dots, I only created 4 boxes. So I have to understand the context and where I'm going if I'm going to explain it. See, here I used 4 boxes. Now I have 9 dots. It took 4 dots to create 1 life. It took 6 dots to create 2. It took 8 dots to create 3. So 8 create 3, but the last 1 dot will create 1, and that last dot will create the last box over here. But you can also say you have a half box because they do connect. So the last one may have just connected a 0.5. So 50 would be the value of a center, or was it a set? Sorry, of a center of the X, just like when excuse me, what is it again? The dartboard. The dartboard. You have the center and you have the outside to the center. Anyways, 1, 3, 5, 7. Your 6 and 2 would be over here. Your 2 would be connecting 3 and 1, and your 6 would be connecting your 5 and 7. Your 6 and your 2 are your queen. Instead of going A, B, C, D, E, you are going F, E, D, C, B. You are connecting these two, and these two are polarity to each other. These two play in between. Do I have to connect them? I don't know. Do you follow what I'm saying with this? So now on this side, it's going to be the same thing. These two are 66. They're both inside the 7th gate. When they come down 1 level to this level over here, 7 goes down over to 9. Over here, 7 goes down over to 9. And then it goes over to, let me see, 7, 9, and then this would be 11. So let's see if it matches up. This is number 3. 1 and 2 equals to 3. 1 and 2 equals to 3. So I'm going to have to flip that over to see if I can find an 11. 5 and 6 equals to 11. This one equals to 5. So this one is number 9. So that's a 5. So that'll be 4 and 1, 5. So I'm going to flip over now. I'm going to flip over 4 and 1, 5, right? So I'm going to flip over a 3 and 6. 3 and 6, 9. So this is telling me that my story's okay because it matches the cubes. So now I'm not really sure where I was, but I'm going to try and get back to where I think I was, in which when I have, which numbers is it? Which numbers should I take? We inverted this, right? We inverted this. Let me see which I should take. Okay, let's say I take these two numbers over here. Okay, so if I take these two numbers over here, I'm talking about a 1D and an 8V, and here I'm talking about a 4D and a 5V. So when I see the number 5885, I'm right away thinking about the DNA, okay, through the 4D world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I know it's the J. I know I came into the world of Jack, the plug-in, Earth. Once I know I'm in 4, since I did ABC, I must do it again. So I landed on J. So I will have to do J, K, L, and then M will be that polarity. Did I get that right? Let me see that I got that right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And once I got the 4, I skipped all the way to 10. So I'm going to do up to L, which is 33. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, which equals to 6. Did I get this right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This equals to 6. And 4 equals to 10. So I'm trying to think 10 on which level? Yes, on this level over here. So that would be 13. Just give me a second. Hold on a second. Anyways, let me just tell you, let me not go to the next level. Okay, the next level of 4 is M. So it starts with 1, it ends in 4. It starts with J, it ends with M. It starts with, I'm just trying to think, it starts with, I think, V. No, it starts with S, and it ends with V. And these are the levels in the alphabet that will give you 1 and 4. The J is number 1. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. The M is the 13th letter. 1 plus 3 equals to 4. The cycles are all in 4. They stop at 3, just like on the time clock. The time clock, okay, in French, they will say 60. Let me see if I have this printed out. 1 second. Here, let's look at this. Hold on a second. Just give me a second. Do I have this here? No, that's not it. Let me just give me a second. Month, GameCube, months, moons, numbers. No, that's not good. Okay, I'm going to try and show it to you over here. When you get to number 60 in French, they say 60. See 60 the way it equals to 107? It's also a base of 20, if I remember that correctly. If I remember that correctly, I have to remember. No, I think 20 is 87. 45, 43, and 19. 86. 86, 45, 43, 45, 88, not 107, right, 107. 107, Earth's heart, 20. So we have 60 exists. You see, 60 is brought back into the game when 70 comes into the game, when the gateway comes in. So what I do is 60 comes into the game, and then, see, this is 40, and then the gateway comes into the game. I want to say we started at 100 and removed 40 for creation, and what we were left with was with a set. This is a set, and this is a pair. I got a set, 2, 2, and 2. And here I got a pair of 2 and 2. Well, that doesn't really work, you know. Because in a pair, right, and in a set means 3, pair means 2, 40 seconds and 60 seconds. In this one over here, what we would be looking at is more or less 4 and 6, 8 and 2 equals to 10 equals to 10. And along with it, I just put something in my face. And along with it, we're going to use the crossover of 5 and 5. You follow me? We're going to use the crossover crossing through number 5. I cannot do that with 9 and 1. It doesn't work. This is the center. Rubik's Cube doesn't turn here. I can turn this side here, and I'll turn this side here. But I cannot turn with what I can turn in Rubik's Cube here. So I'm no longer using what is number 5, but using one of the number 1s, turning over the 1 over here. If I turn this one, I will be rotating, okay, what is the ring? There's 3 rings, just like the rings of Saturn is the 3 rings of the Rubik's Cube. Those 3 rings move 2 colors, 2 colors, 8 colors, and then 8 colors, and then 8 colors, 24 colors, 12 times 2. So we have our 60 seconds because 10 of the seconds will come over here. Hold on a second. We have 10, 10. Oh, we're going to use the 3 sets. So now we're going to use 1 and 9 equals to 10. So we have 10, 20, 30. And then we have 3 and 7 equals to 10. That's your 40. And we crossed over the 5 area 4 times. And that will create your 60 seconds if you want to look at it that way. 40 was your beginning. A, B, C, D equals to the totality. But 40 was mentioned at the beginning, and then it was 30, 20, and then 10. I'm just assuming maybe that the same way they added in your bowling, you had 3 strikes, and then nothing else happened. 30, 20, 10 is the run out. That's the run out. It's just an assumption. Back to hot and cold, back to number 13. The 13 is when you become man. You become man at 13, and you're created by number 16. What a sweet 16. Is there any way we can create 16 or 61? I don't remember, but we do know it's the polarities of what we begin with. You either begin with 6 and you end with 2, or you start with 1 and you end with 5. So you are in one of the 2 worlds. Either you are the connecting world, or you are what is being connected. One, 3, and 5. Here is 1. Here is 3. Here is 5. Here is 7. By the way, there are 36. We're using up 36 areas to create this. 36. Each one has 9. None of them are connected. 1, 3, 5, and 7. Now, in between that, when we connect, we will connect over here. I changed this up a little bit. I was connecting a different way in my last one. This time I decided to overlap my connections in this one over the core of each area. I never usually do that. This is just a new way. I usually do it I usually just connect them this way. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. I know it's very hard to see, but here I'll just show it to you in the empty space. This is 1. This one is 3, and this one over here is 2. The 2 will connect 1 and 3, or 71 times 3, which is the gateway, if you want to look at it that way. So when we connect this one, we overlap the connection. We get one connection over here, and then my next connection comes out over here. And then my last connection comes out over here. Now the thing about this is it starts in row 2, 3, 4, 5. So it goes from row 2 over to row 5. Instead of what here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, instead of 6 over 6 and over to row 1. Do you see a formation starting over here? 1 over to row 6, where 2 went over to row 5. That's that connective formation. And then that's what it'll be onward. 2 goes over to 5. When does 3 go over to 4? I'd have to look at that. Let me see. Let me see, 3 would be over here. And when it goes over to 4, it means it makes a formation right over here connecting the hearts of each one. 3 and 4 will connect hearts. And then after that, it'll be 6 and 4, 5, 6, 4 and I think 7 and 8. That's let me just check that out for a second. If I did that again, let me see if I did this here, and let's see what this one is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'd have to go over here to connect 7 and 8. Okay, don't want to talk about that. Getting lost in my numbers. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can rekindle this. We had purple, we had lightning. Let me see, let me go back. How many cubes? We looked at time. Yes, the other thing is the cycles is at 84. Okay, the cycle is 84. That is the Pluto cycle. It takes 3 moons to get to 84 days. It takes 4 cubes to get to 4 times 21 equaling to 84. When that happens, I get 4 times 33 void, which equals to 132. The total of the two equals to 216, which equals to 9 by 24, which is actually the gateway to the birth cube and the moon, 216, the cube moon. 21 is the cube. 60 seconds is the ABCD when you turn it over because of its quarters, 1/3 and 1/4. How do we match up all these thirds and quarters? We do it simply. 12 times 4 equals to 48. 15 times 4 equals to 60. 20 times 3 equals to 60. Can we think of anything else that has a time clock? This would be basketball. And at halftime in basketball, it would be 24. In halftime in hockey, okay, halftime in hockey is actually the 30-minute mark, which is halfway in the middle of period, and they're still on ice. So in 2020 in hockey, they're still on ice, but it's not 2020. The second period is 15, 20, and 15. That's the second period. 6, 2, 6. All zeros will equal to either 6 or 8. In this instance, if it's equal to 6, 6 and 2 is 8. This would be telling us that we're at the gate. 6, 8, 6, 8. 2 times 6, 2 plus 6. 20 is the darts. 15 is the pool table. 15 will give me 120. Darts will give me 210. 33 in rotation of Pluto. 84 times 4 equals to 336. This is where my cubes come back in, to where this was 4 cubes. Now I have 16 cubes in order to equal to my 12th moon, or 336 days. This is the rotation. 33. Rotation from Mars and the Sun. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equals to 9 and 6, equaling to 15, which is Mars, and Mars is quarter. 15 is a quarter, where Earth is 25, and that's also a quarter, where Earth gets 4 quarters equals to 100, where Mars gets 4 quarters and it equals to 60. Two by 2 Mars, 3 by 3 Earth. 22 Mars, 33 Earth, 44. So this would be ape Venus. The ape, listen, listen, they took our hair away. The apes took our hair away. We're an extension. You know, don't laugh. Don't laugh. So once 22 comes in, 22 into the cubic world is either 55, 22 reverse, 55, or if we just want to look at 2 in its own way, we're going to say it's the beta gates. We're at the gateway, because inside here are 7 voided spaces inside of here. When no matter what you do to add up those spaces, there's going to be a total of 35. These 2 at the ends will be 10. The total here will be 20, with that center point owning everything and itself. 20 plus 5. The T letter and the E letter. The T letter and the E letter. Count the zeros separate, because it is what encompasses everything, or what you rotate around. So now what happened? In order to come to the end of the year, at the 12th moon, we come to the 12th moon. When will the year end exactly? What cycle will the moon end? When the 13th moon ends up to being the last moon of the cycle. So 336 is the 12th moon. And the 12th moon, let's do this on a clean page so everybody can see. The 12th moon, the 336th day ending. That means the moon had to begin on day 309. That's 27 plus 1, right? 28. Is that the way it is? Can I do it that way? Or is it should I count 28 full days? I'm not sure which to do it. I like to look at 308. So we're going to look at it that way. And 308 is actually telling me about when we're completely like that, because the 3 is the 6 is the void, and then the opposite side is the void. 0 showing me the ring. The ring, instead of counting the ring over here, I'm just going to count the ring as the band. The 0 being the band. The band here, well, why not the band all around? And change my philosophy and call 0, 3.5, 8, Again, same number, doesn't matter. Anyways, we have 336 day ending, and that will be 84, which is the cycle. You'll have 3 times the cycle. You will have 12 and 240. You will have, sorry, that's 3 times the cycle, which is be 252, and then 1 times the cycle, because that's the way I have to do it, equals to 336. Here is 17 and 17. This is going to be your DC gate. 10 and 7 and 7 and 10 will meet here. 1771 will meet over here. That's where the QH moves in. Maybe we can call it just headquarters if you want. 2 times 5 to plus 5, 2 times 5 to plus 5, and it's the all words that go into this. And not only is it this, it's also going to be 7V and 4V, which is Jesus, energy, time, cross. Okay, so we get to 336 over here. I'm just trying to think. So this was the 4th cycle. This was the 4th cycle. So that was the 4th cycle. So I'm trying to think where I am next. So that was the 4th cycle, 4 times the cycle. So 4 times 4 cubes. 84 dots times 4 equals to 6 and 1. 4 by 8 is 33. 336 dots. So it comes out to the same thing. Comes out to the same thing. 4 cubed, 336 dots. Now we are going to get 33 times 4 equals to 132. Is that what it is? 120 and 12. Now understand about this. It's very special because this has to do with the moon. This is going to have to do with our birth. But it is the core. When you see number 1 first, it is the core. When you see number 2 first, it is on the outside of the core. You know right away that 3 and 3 crossing. Okay, 3 and 3 crossing. 3 and 3 crossing. Over here. It's also 1 and 4, where 1 and 4 come together. Over here. And why am I mentioning it that way? Because the moon, I think its diameter is 2160, which is a calculation of 9 by 24 equaling to 216. 216 and 24 and 9 is division of the gate, of the 7th gate. Divide. When you're going to have a child, you're going to follow the 7th gate divide. But at the same time, what is the calculation of 2160? It's just a very funny calculation when you divide it by, I didn't like having decimals with it, but since this is the birth gate and the diameter of the moon, I should have to, this is the dots the way I assume they are, and this has to do, I'm just trying to figure out, the addition of this equals to 81 Venus. Which is the creation of what is natural, 9 and 8, explained in the game of Baccarat. I'm also trying to understand this, where the 10th day came in, and where the 10th day came in over here equals to the 2400, or the single day, where we link the yesterday to tomorrow. to complete the 24 hours. So it's 9 and then 1. The same way I transferred 1 and then I moved over to 10. I'm not sure if I'm explaining this properly. The same way I have 1 on my dice cube and 6 equaling to 7, but the difference is only 5. This is my expression for the moon. It's the female pass of the moon. You see, the moon has 2 things to do at man. First, you have a bar, and they always say bar 12 in the game of craps. You become a man at your bar mitzvah, 13. The word man is equivalent to the cycle of the moon, 28 and 13. Now 13 times 7 equals to 91, which is equivalent to the spirit, which is, I'm just trying to think of which way it connected to this, because 9 and 1 is 10, and inside of 9 and 1, inside the spirit birth, here is 2 and 8 that comes to life as A, E, and I, but you're only going to be playing from B over to H, 2 over to 8. But you're neither going to be 2 nor are you going to be 8. You're going to be inside of that. You're going to be A and B, what comes together as C. C and F. Just trying to remember which ones, 3 and 6. 3 and 6 creates 2. I'm starting to get tired. Should I be getting tired? 3 hours. Wow. Let me see the one comment. What is it? A couple means 2. Yes, a couple means 2. So at the end of it, let me see what I had left. So I had 16 times 33 equals 2. I have 528 voids to 336 dots plus 528 equals to 864. And then I can put a 0 and match up with the seconds in a day. And if I minus it, minus 528 equals to minus 528 equals to 192. That divides by 6, eh? Yeah, 32. That's what I thought. So that's how that works out. I'm extremely tired. Wow, 7 o'clock. So what do you think we call it today? Warm sky. How many cubes come in? One is the pole, one is the ring. But I believe that if we had to change this, if I had to do it this way and do this scenario, and then I had to do this scenario once, and then the second scenario I did it here, and then the third scenario I did it here. On the fourth scenario, when the cube ends, okay, I would have to flip the cube completely upside down and go here in order to get to the fourth one. I cannot get to the fourth one. So therefore, the only way maybe to do it is to go by 6 and then 5 and then 4. And you see, you can't get to the third one. You're blocked. You can either go 1, 2, 3, but you can't get to the third one. So the cycle completely flips everything upside down. So it seems like you're completely running. Let's say on 4, let's go to 4. Now let's go to start at 4. Yeah, let's start at 2. So you go to 3 and you can't go anywhere. So you start at 1, you only can go to 3. So no matter what, you have to pass, when you go 1, 2, 3, your next one is either 6 or 5. Your next choice is 6 or 5 in order to get to number 4. So you would go to 1, 2, 3, and that's the way you would have to do it to end up on number 4. That's the only way through number 4 to get your 6-part pass, which will be 1.5 times the exact value of what is dedicated to Mars. Number 51. Earth falls in communication. Earth being number 52 and 52 equals 104. 104 is the DNA. It's the inside. It's number 5. It's 2 and 3, 5. It's B and C. Reverse alphabet would be Y and X. Y, X and Y. And really tired. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I'll try and come back another day, see what we can get done. Peace and love. I'm going to take a look on Odyssey, see if anybody's here. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Tired. Falling asleep. I want to say hello to somebody who's got this initial. Hey, 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 how you doing? Here's another one for you. There's levels. This is the dartboard. The dartboard is 210. It has a double chord donut to it. It shows a place that if you had to hang that board, you wouldn't hang it at the center. You would hang it at the top with a pin. How many things that you hang do you ever hang in the center? Nothing. Nothing hangs at the center. Nothing hangs at the center. So that's a passage. It's a green pass. It's a round. So what goes through the hole is what surrounds where the doorway is. It's the dartboard. They also show a place for 2 to 1 and 3 to 1. There was another thing I wanted to mention about numbers is how to associate and create 1, 2, and 3. Remember that bringing 7 and 3 together, or 8 and 3, or 9 and 3 is going to start ABC all over again. So we have to get into numbers that will not start anything all over again, as well as numbers that start everything all over again. Standardization in this world we are. We must love. We must know what love is. Another thing I want to say is we do not need money. All we need is good administration. Money is because of what the difference and changes because of the abuse of what people had. So we needed a medium in between. But really, if all money went to zero, it would be pretty easy to recalibrate everything, okay, off of the balance of what we would create money, okay, to where we would come onto the new system to understanding what it is and how it has to be used, because the only thing that needs to be quarantined is the usage of money. Grows on trees. Let me see what else is here. This is the ace card. This is what showed up one night. I call it the rhesus monkey. This is the roulette table flipped upside down. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 and 6. There's 12. 6. There's 6. Wow. There are 6 boards times 2. There's 12. 12 times 36. 432. 432 vibration. And should there be more, when we get to the next vibration, understand that after the 432 vibration, it becomes 50 the next day. See, 432 is an accumulation of 1440 times 3, which are the minutes in the day. The second day, let's drop that. The 3 days together
bring in the vibration in between 2 days. And now the next day, you drop off the first day, and it brings in that vibration. Or what you do is you calculate the 4 days together, which brings you 5,760 in the number of minutes in 4 days, which is equivalent in Hebrew time to the year 2000. So a full cycle ending on 5760 equal to what was the year 2000, equaling to the moon of time. As well, it's talking about a polarity right now. It's talking about a polarity because when numbers started over from 16, it went over to 19. 19 is a 1, 16 is a 7. This is in the game of roulette where 36 numbers come together. I'm trying to think where I was right now. Oh, God. Yeah. The game of roulette, the polarity. I'm just trying to think where I was. Wow. Yeah, so in the middle of roulette, let me see, do I have this here? Yeah, so over here where those two dots are, right, that's 17 and 20. The two lines on each side, which you can call 11, you can have 1 and 11. 1 is on the left top, 1 is on the left bottom. The 11 is in the center. If you want to look at it that way, as the lines go, like 11 red, right? So the total here is 111. You take 6 boards, you got 666. You take the 12 boards, you have 84 Pluto and 60 of creation, standard creation. First, second, third of Venus. So that's where your 111 comes in. Why did I mention that? Yes, because where the 111 is, the two rows connected is 51, which is the invert to 57. And hold on a second. And 60, which is what is 19, 20, 21. The average is 20 in that row, equaling to 60 in that row. One is the invert side. You can use it that way. I guess that's it. There's a ton of things, that we can look at, which is go to French and look how things work in French. Let me see if I can take the camera down for 1 second. See, in French, when you have to say, let me see, is it this one I want to use? Yeah, here. When you say 80, you're saying, see this here? Look at that. Quatre is 4. Yeah, I don't know why my computer's like freezes. It doesn't. Yeah, not good. The camera's shaky. Hold on, I'm frozen here. Okay, so it says 420s. So by it's telling me 420s, I'm understanding, as I spoke earlier, that the 1 and 9 and 7 and 3 are 20s, and the 4 and 6, 8 and 2 are 20s. So I understand where that comes from. The 360s in our time clock is because 10 and 20 and 30 come together. 10, 20, 30 is my basic 60, where 10 is inside 20, and then the mirror reflection. 10, 20, 30 equals to 60. What is 40? Is 40 19 and 73 and 46 and 28? Is that what 40 is? What is 30? Is 30 1 and 9 and 7 and 3, passing 2 times through 5, making 5 and 5 10, plus this 20 equals to 30? What is 20? Is it these two coming together as 20, or these two? Because these two cannot get through this one over here because it's on an angle. Rubik's only goes this way, and that way. When you get to 60 and 70, you're saying 60
and you're going to add 10 to it. Look at that, what 70 is. 70 is saying 60 and 10. So 60 is dragged into the 7th gate. 80 is 4 times what 20 is. So if it's 4 times what 20 is, 80, 1 and 9, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, 8 and 2. There's 4 times what 20 is to make 80 through the Venus worlds. And then we connect it together because in 90, you have 4 20s and then 10. So now we connect it together over here. Crisscrossing another 20 to connect 10. We're already on the cross. We already have 20 on the cross. Wrap, wrap. There's another wrap below. There's another wrap around. There's a wrap missing here. There's a wrap missing. Maybe I can count it in the 5 position. You do know there are 3 wraps. 1 wrap this way, 1 wrap this way, and 1 around the waist. There's 3 wraps. 10, 20, 30. There's 4 wraps up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we can wrap on every single side. If I wrapped on every single side, I'd have 10, 20, 30, 40, and I'd have every single side of 6. I'd have 240 on my cube. Plus, I'd have the 20 in the center on 6. I'd have 360 degrees. Did you follow what I said? If I went 1, 9, 3, 7 and all this, I'd have 40 plus 20 for the 5 passing over. Or should I only count it as 5? If I did it on all 6 sides, I'd have 360 and calculable. But this will be reduced down to 270 because of the calculation that goes along. Anyways, Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Everything has its reason for being there, and it's been created for us. Squishies to everybody. Squishies to everybody.